Yo, yo, what's good? What's good, family? Sliding on through this thing real quick. Want to drop a little something off on y'all. Today is my Monday going back to work, where today is most of y'all out there, it's y'all Friday. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be out there with my monkey suit on, doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be kind of hard for me to tap in with y'all on the weekend. But yo, dig. This is a subject my man Sosa had hit me with, man, when this first happened between Trump, Zelensky, and the Oval Office. I got a real interesting perspective on this, man. I'm gonna go ahead, drop the story down, run through a few things with y'all, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do as I do. I'm gonna go ahead and whip that thing up for you, put a little twist at the end, and show you a little something that I'm pretty sure that y'all didn't see in this situation. But yo, let me go and pop this joint off right real quick for y'all right here.
What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
Now, what I want y'all to peep out. And I'm jumping off into this thing because I got a limited time, but I want y'all to just peep this out. Look at Zelensky's body language as he's talking. And if you're familiar with any of your press conferences out of the White House Oval Office, you never see the vice president chiming in like this. So Zelensky ass is being lined up and he don't notice it. You see what I'm saying? He being lined straight up, but don't notice it. But as he's getting off into his emotion, which they setting him up for, because you can tell that Zelensky don't too much care for Vance. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, peep this out. I'm gonna take you through it quick and get you to my conclusion. Check this out.
Or everybody has problems, even you. But you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's exactly
Remember
what
this. You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III.
I promise you, if you stick with me to the end of this live, or either catch it later, I'm gonna blow your mind with what I'm about to show you. And trust me, you're not gonna see this perspective nowhere else than here, and it's gonna all line up. Just be patient with me. Now, you see Trump going in here. Now listen, I'm from the street, east side of Detroit. I've been over there, as I stated before. Let me give my little rundown here so y'all can see that my experience that I have. For those of you that know me, this is what I did over on Connect Podcast. I'm close to 1 million views over there on that. This is my book right here. You can get it on Amazon, the 3 different volumes. Why am I showing you this? I'm showing you this to let you know that playing at the very highest of levels, you must be able to read body language. And you have to be able to read when somebody lining you up. JD jumped right in and started challenging Zelensky. Zelensky does not like J.D. Vance. And you can tell that he doesn't care too much for J.D. Vance. And right here, I'm going to show you. There's a word that J.D. Vance continues to use that Zelensky doesn't write. I see you, Supreme. I'm glad to see you back in here fucking with me. Oh, he does. He does. But if you season and you a seasoned politician, there's no reason someone should be able to read that off of you. And to show that type of arrogance is show that you ain't been there before. But you right on to something. But Supreme, man, I'm about to blow your mind, bro. Just stick with me for a minute, man. And let everybody see what you put up here. Stick with me for a minute, man. And I'm going to drop something on you in a perspective that you ain't looked at, but I'm sure you somewhat familiar with. But look at these words in here that J.D. Vance is going to use that's going to really trigger this dude even more.
They should have.
Have you said thank you once this entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
If you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days. This is something
maybe
new.
Less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this.
Again,
I tell you.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of
except that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think
Man, this dude is a character. He said, yeah, 3 days. Yeah, I heard it from Putin. But it's just like what you're saying, Supreme, his arrogance. But the things that's triggering his arrogance that JD keep poking him, he keeps saying, say thank you. Show some appreciation. All those words. And since he's so arrogant, it affects him. He can't hear those words because he's just so larger than life. And they're just using that to poke him and poke him and poke him, and he reacting from it. That's not seasoned at all. Oh no, that's exactly where this is going. That's exactly where this is going. And you seeing it right clear, Supreme. But Supreme, I swear to you, I'm gonna blow your mind at the end of this. You're not gonna be ready for this. But that's exactly where it's going. This whole performance was put on for the world to see, as you just said, saying that Trump said. Because Zelensky probably has some supporters that is probably the foundation of keeping him from being liquidated, as you're saying. So it's to show the world that he's inept. But there's a twist coming. There's a twist coming, Supreme, because as soon as he left from Trump, he went over to Europe, and Europe rallied around him and showed all type of support for him and everything. There's a bigger fight going on. But I'm going to show you this in a minute. Just stick with me. Now, dig. We're going to go on to this joint right here. Peep this out.
Question for President Zelensky.
No.
Why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you wear a suit? You're at the highest level in this country's office, and you refuse to.
Now, I came out of this real quick because I want you to pay attention to, as you said, Supreme, pay attention to his answer to the reporter. But you can see the reporter was also in on doing his hit job on him to poke at his ego. But watch how he comment about his suit, something more expensive or maybe something cheaper in his eyes and all this. Just pay attention to this.
Question for President Zelensky.
No.
Why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you wear a suit? You're at the highest level in this country's office, and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if do you own a suit?
Yeah, you have problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not
Really?
respecting.
I don't have
the
such.
office.
I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
Okay.
Yes, maybe one.
Maybe something like this.
something like
Yes,
yours.
sir.
Yes.
That'd be great.
Maybe something better. I don't know. We will see. Maybe something cheaper than. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. For,
You see how he said it may be something cheaper, like man, get the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? Just real dismissive. But it's all a hit job being done on him, but he not peeping out the play. Now let me give you something else. It's gonna be Trump talking in the background. I isolated him so you can see his body language. Look at this. This man is squirming and it look like he about to cry. You can tell he's not no real leader. He's nothing but a puppet and he's being handled. Check this out.
Okay, what have they broken? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat scam. And he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh.
Do y'all see his facial expressions, man? Y'all see the different, a myriad of emotions that this man is going through? He will also make you kind of think that he got some transformer in him somewhere. That's just too many emotions that's visible. No seasoned politician, no seasoned underworld man ever shows all that fidgeting and emotion and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But just peep this out. Now, here's the liberal side, because I voted for Trump. I fuck with Trump. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with him. I give you that. But check this out. And I don't like this broad here at all.
Stage, but let's step back and analyze what's happened here. I think there's no question that this was a setup. You heard Donald Trump say at the end of that clip you played, this is great television. This was a setup.
That man was lined up, man. That man was lined up because whatever support that he got behind him, the Trump administration is trying to knock out. And again, I'll state again, I voted for Trump. I'm for Trump. But there's something else underlining in this, and there's an issue. I've been telling y'all for the longest, even with my stuff over dealing with Mexico and all of how that's doing, with the CIA over there and all that. And I draw the line with how the issue with blacks and America in the 60s, how they were saying we'll be funded by China, Russia, and all this. I'm telling you, all this shit is lining up. Even with what's going on in Mexico is lining up. But watch this play right here. I'm kind of losing myself. This play right here. Where we at? I mean, I swear to y'all, man, just stick with me on this. Y'all, I'm going to blow your mind. Now, this is something y'all didn't see coming and that y'all ain't tying in. Let me put a timeline. Zelensky left Trump, went over to Europe, checked the YouTube and all that. All the countries over there rallied around Zelensky, talking about giving him more money to help him. You know, after Trump did this worldwide humiliation of him. Now, during this time that Europe is rallying around him and all that, Trump gets a damn visit from the Prime Minister of Britain, and look at what the Prime Minister handed him. Check it out right here.
I present the letter from the King to
Thank you very much. Am I supposed to read it right now?
Yeah, please do.
Oh, that's well. Well, that is really nice. I must make sure his signature's on that.
Can you tell us what it says?
A beautiful man, a wonderful man, and perhaps you'd like to say what that very important paragraph.
Yes, so this is a letter from His Majesty the King. It's an invitation for a second state visit. This is really special. This has never happened before. This is unprecedented. And I think that just symbolises the strength of the relationship between us. So this is a very special letter. I think the last state visit was a tremendous success.
It was.
His Majesty the King wants to make this even better than that. So this is truly historic.
And that says at Windsor. That's
Yes.
really something.
Yes. What I haven't got yet is your answer. I do need to.
The answer is yes.
Listen, stick with me. I'm going to blow your goddamn mind. I'm going to blow your mind. A second state invitation. He stated it's unprecedented. It's never been done before. The king requested him twice. King, what is that? Queen, that means nothing. That means nothing. I'm going to blow your mind right now. Stick with me. I'm going to show you something. The king wants to see him the second time on the second state visit. It has never happened before. That don't sound like no regular meeting to me, and that's never happened before. That sounds like that might be a come to Jesus moment. But follow me on this. Peep this out right here.
To have been presented with a letter from the King inviting him for a second state visit to the UK. Well, our political editor Chris Mason joins us live now from Washington. You were there, Chris. How did it go?
Rita, this was a meeting that mattered. The Prime Minister, the guest of a fellow leader, the most unpredictable of his era. Would Sir Keir Starmer be able to establish a relationship, a rapport, where so many other world leaders appear to be failing? And on the substance, what about Ukraine and what about trade?
Okay, I see you, Supreme. What you got here? Listen here. He ain't got no choice but to come. And I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you why in a minute. Just hold on. See, most people going to sleep on this video. You know what I'm saying? They're going to sleep on it because of the subject matter and things of that. But I'm about to drop some serious game on you here. But Supreme, you kind of see where it's going already. You kind of see where it's going. Now, what I want to state to y'all, and whoever watching, man, give me a shout out. Tell me where you at, where you from. What I want to state to y'all is this. There is an issue between England and Russia. There's an issue. Okay, and I'm about to show you that issue. I'm about to show you King Charles before he was king, when the Queen was still living. In the last Trump administration, when he was president before, the king, well then Prince, came over to America. And I want you to watch the body language in this thing between when he shakes everybody's hand and he walks past Pence. Watch how he walked past him. Then I'm going to hit it again for you in slow motion. And watch what happens when everybody keep pointing Putin over to Prince Charles when he comes in. And see how Putin continues to react. Okay, baby mama, you on here starting trouble. I see you. But yo, check this out, man. Where this thing at? Right here.
Good to see you. Your Royal Highness. Royal Highness. Such a pleasure meeting you again. He was very kind. Excellent. I do. Please.
Okay, Supreme just popped something off right here. Trump and Boris Johnson didn't see eye to eye. That's true. But is there a reason why they didn't see eye to eye? You know what I'm saying? Is there a reason for it? But yo, I want to go ahead and run that thing back for you one more time before I get you with the slow-mo. Watch it, how Prince Charles then, now king, walked past the current vice president at that time of America, but hobnobbed with everybody else in Europe, the European leaders, including Netanyahu of Israel. And then watch specifically when Putin walks in, the host continue to point him toward King Charles. Another man reaches around the host to try to point him, and he kept ignoring him until the guy sat down and grabbed him and pointed where he had it. Watch this again one more time before I give you the slow-mo.
Good to see you.
He gave Pence the ugly look right there.
Your Royal Highness.
He hobnobbing with everybody from Europe.
Royal Highness. Such a pleasure meeting you again. He was very kind. Excellent. I do.
Please. Look at them. They all on this thing. Now watch Putin when he come in. That's the guy that was calling him Royal Highness. See how Putin looking him off? Watch the guy grab him and try to point to Charles. Macron pointed to Charles. He grabbed him again. Now Putin says, oh, hey. it's clear that Putin was not trying to fuck with Charles at all. Now, let me give you the slow-mo on this. Look how he looked Pence in his face and walked straight past him like it's nothing. I got to come out of that and put you back into it again. Pence walked past Pence's wife, didn't acknowledge her at all, looked Pence in his face with a dirty look. Look at it. Straight looked him off. And and then the sucker, Your Royal Highness. That's the one that's going to walk in with Putin.
Such a pleasure meeting you again. Excellent.
Then he turned to Netanyahu and he's very kind. Basically saying he's a sucker. Now Putin, watch this. Mr. Royal Highness man pointing toward Charles. Putin turns his back. Signs of Macron. Macron grabbed him and pointed to Charles. It's clear Putin was not trying to fuck with Charles at all. But look at how he looked at Pence. And now, then Prince Charles, now King Charles, has sent for Trump the second time. Now, I'm going back to the Russia collusion. That was proven to be untrue, or whatever the case may be. But he's sending for him a second time. And you see Putin clearly did not care for Charles. You've seen that right there. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take you somewhere else. I hope you're still out there, Supreme, because I'm about to hit you with something right now.
Now, let me give you a thing that most people don't get. When you have a state, you have a nation. In political science, what you call the United States, what you call Italy.
Let me come out of this for a minute. Let me preface it right. This is Judge Joe Brown. And it's Dana with the Data. Hell of a show. Check her out, good people. But listen to what the Jews he dropping from law. Judge Joe Brown. Peep this out.
Now, let me give you a thing that most people don't get. When you have a state, you have a nation. In political science, what you call the United States, what you call Italy, England, France, Germany, Greece, is known as a nation state. State and a nation are synonymous. We could say, instead of the United States of America, we could say the United Nations of America. So what happens is when you have a nation state, you have three things. You have one, a territory that is embraced by a boundary, a border. Two, you have a population. And three, you have a governmental entity that directs the interaction between the population and the territory, and that means handling the weather, the water resources, mineral circumstances, the general resources of the territory. So you make this nation state, this triumvirate, stronger in the environment of the world to deal with other nation states who may be in competition. Remember, this stuff arose over thousands of years, where Rome decided it was going to go into Gaul, and Caesar was going to come along and do what he did and conquer Gaul and then go in and invade what became known as England. And then he tried to get into Germany, but backed out of it.
This thing coming together for y'all. It's coming together. Pay attention. He just broke down the definition, the territory and the people. The government basically manages the resources but manage the resources for whom? Keep that in mind. Keep this thing going.
It does not make any difference what the deal is. It is the exclusive domain of the sovereign to determine what its territories and resources are going to be used for.
The exclusive decision, paraphrasing here, of the sovereign. So as he broke it down, territory, people, government to administrate the resources. For whom? But he told you it's up to the sovereign. Pay attention, people. Don't sleep on this. Check this out.
He could seize their land. So I want to play the actual clip.
Correction. They don't own land. They don't own whatever they have. You can't. The only thing you own in the United States is what they call property rights. That means you have the exclusive use of a thing vis-a-vis anybody else. The ownership of the object, the house, the land, the car, even yourself belongs to the state or the United States of America. They just give you the property rights, which is the exclusive right to use a thing. All title comes from the state, or if it's on federal property, the United States.
He gonna break this thing all the way down for you. He gonna even let you know that you don't own the actual right to your goddamn self. By law. Who owns it? Who owns it? Now I'm about to hit you with this next joint where he gonna break it down to its lowest compound, and then I'm gonna tie in a historical fact to this, and cause I only got 2 more moves, and your mind gonna be blown, Supreme. It's gonna be blown. Here you go.
So you can own nothing. You don't even own yourself. You don't own your clothes. You just own the right to use yourself. And when you don't exercise that right, you get hauled into a criminal court and they modify your property interest in yourself. So first off, that characterization is wrong. It's not their land. It's not something their family has owned. The only thing the family has a right to is the exclusive use of the thing. The state may dissolve your property rights in the thing, but they have to compensate you the reasonable value. And that's the only thing you have a right to, is the compensation for the reasonable value of your loss of the exclusive use to the thing or of the thing. When you get the car title, it comes from the state. So what you get is not ownership of the car, you get ownership of the rights to use the car.
The compensation for the exclusive use being taken from you is the only thing that you are entitled to. Okay, you know where I'm going, Supreme, but I'm about to hit you with the twist, baby. I'm about to hit you with the high and the heat. You know what I'm saying? You see where I'm going, though? The exclusive use is the only thing you have. And if that's taken from you by the state, which is the sovereign entity, what is an entity? Something that acts in the place of, then you're to be compensated. Ain't that what happened in slavery? Don't forget, Joe Brown just said you don't even have exclusive right to yourself. And if you misuse that, you hauled off into a criminal court and you're prosecuted because you don't own yourself. So again, ain't that what happened in slavery? And if you look, it lines up. The British Crown was going around basically paying off. The first buyout was the buyout from slavery. Went around paying off everybody else and buying off those rights from those then could be considered barons, slave owners. They were compensating them because they were taking back the right of their actual property. Okay, we ain't gonna stop here. I got 2 more moves. Stick with me, Supreme.
So that's the same thing we have now. All of this several thousand years of history where the king says Baron, you are a strong man. You have protected my interest. I am the king. I am giving you this tract of land to hold. Remember Sherwood Forest, where the Sheriff of Nottingham was holding forth because King John, prior to that, King Richard had given him the holdings. And you say, my holdings? That's the way people used to do it. If you read the American case law up until around the last 80 or 90 years, somebody talks about my land holdings, not the land I own. So that's the whole thing. You hold it for the sovereign. In this case, it's we the people, rather than his majesty or her majesty, Queen Elizabeth.
We the people, instead of his majesty, and so on and so forth. Did we really win our independence? Or did we just win the sovereignty of an entity? Think about that, people. Now, I want to take you to something on closing this out. But I want you to think. The second visit, again, let me go ahead and hit this again so you can see it. It's unprecedented. It has never happened before. Peep it.
I present the letter from the King to
Thank you very much. Am I supposed to read it right now?
Yeah, please do.
Oh, that's well. Well, that is really nice. I must make sure his signature's on that.
Can you tell us what it says?
A beautiful man, a wonderful man, and perhaps you'd like to say what that very important paragraph.
Yes, so this is a letter from His Majesty the King. It's an invitation for a second state visit. This is really special. This has never happened before. This is unprecedented. And I think that just symbolises the strength of the relationship between us. So this is a very special letter. I think the last state visit was a tremendous success.
It was.
His Majesty the King wants to make this even better than that. So this is truly historic.
And that says at Windsor. That's
Yes.
really something.
Yes. What I haven't got yet is your answer. I do need to.
The answer is yes.
You got it, Supreme. You got it, Supreme. And see, there's going to be people that's going to see this video and going to be like, this ninja is out of his mind. I'm about to come with the smoking gun right now. Let me take you back. Remember that beef that was going on between Ron DeSantis and Disney? Remember Ron DeSantis was like, y'all been governing yourself for all this time. You ain't been paying taxes. You've been acting as a government inside the government. Since you keep putting your nose in politics, I'm stripping that away from you. You're going to be taxed. You're going to be, and then all of a sudden that shit went away. Y'all remember that? You didn't hear no more about it? Yeah. Hold on, Supreme. I'm about to pull out the smoking gun for you, baby.
You know what else is under the authority of the crown?
What?
Disney World in Orlando, Florida.
What does that mean? How?
Ron DeSantis, it was a couple months back, was trying to take away their self-governing, because Disney has always been like a self-governing entity within Florida, so they don't pay taxes, the taxes that major businesses and do stuff. Like, they started getting into politics. Disney was like, he's like, if you're going to get into politics, let's get into politics. But Ron DeSantis lost that battle because it came out. Disney's like, hey, why don't you just read this piece of paper that we have? We are under the Royal Family Clause, which basically means Disney World within Florida is technically owned by the royal family of England.
How?
They did some sort of exchange.
They would have had to have given the land to the crown, and now it's protected.
They basically said Disney is the corporate owner of this land, but the royal family owns this land. The U.S. cannot tax what is the royal family.
Why do they own U.S. land?
What's the Florida version of the Boston Tea Party?
We go to Epcot and we just trash the UK part.
No one touched Germany.
This right here is a very, very, very valuable video that I've just done. Like I said, most people probably won't watch it in its entirety, but I just laid down the whole line of what that meeting in there with Zelensky was about, with that second invitation sent by the king that has never happened before to Donald Trump. I just also showed you that there's an issue between the crown when King Charles was then a prince, and you seen how Putin was acting toward him. So I hope y'all peep this out. Yeah, Sosa, what's up, man? I did this motherfucking video because Sosa brought that to me. Sosa, I don't know if you've seen this from the beginning, man. You got to watch this whole thing, the way I ran this whole thing down, but it's because of you that I did it, man. Shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? The U.S. is a corporation only, not. I mean, listen here, and see the shit I'm popping. I'm giving you all facts. I'm giving you all. I'm not no sovereign citizen. I'm not none of that. Because at the end of the day, when you look up that word sovereign and you look at it in its fifth or sixth definition, you will see it speaks of a prince of a land or whatever. So I mean, I'm not trying to get in the woods on all that. So, but I mean, I'm not off into that. But the facts are the facts. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of stuff that is stated within that, I totally agree to, and it helped lead me to some hell of a things, man. This is and I'm not trying to advertise this or nothing. I'm just saying this is a book that I'm about to release right here. It's called The Spiritual Currency, and it's gonna give you the whole lineup of how all this shit worked, man, and how it all came out of spirituality. It all started with the Catholic Church basically creating a religious franchise in the spiritual, and they just duplicated that in the physical. And one of the main ways that they put the play down, they put it down through the Anglo-Saxons. Now, there's coverage not too long ago when hold on, I'm getting mixed up here. When Russia referred to the English and Americans as Anglo-Saxon. Now, Anglo-Saxon is not one word, it's two words, Anglo and Saxons. That's equivalent of the Europeans calling them what they like to call us, the N-word. That's equivalent what that equivalent to, because they've always been known for robbing, stealing, and things of that sort. So that's a very, very derogatory term. That's why the Russians has been calling them Anglo-Saxons as of lately, to say that we're not them. Okay? I got some more comments here. What we got? Okay, so yeah, you gotta watch that thing, man. You gotta watch that thing. I will be starting the video. Yeah. Check it out, man. You really gonna fuck with it. But I mean, it's you. I looked at it, but I wasn't gonna mess with it. But it's really you that made me go ahead and do it, man. So yeah. You know, Supreme, I think that's what's starting to happen. I think that's what's starting to happen, because and I need to do something on this about Trump's move on the 14th Amendment, because we get upset, and I gotta say this, I gotta get out the way because I still got to go work and do that other shit. And Supreme, hold that thought on that, because I'm gonna drop a jewel on you. I think that's what's going on. I don't think that's what's going on. I know that's what's going on. Because if you look back at Trump, when he talks about the tariffs, he talked about the richest moment in America when we had the most money was between 1870 to 1913. 1913 was the creation of the Federal Reserve. So him going through closing down all these little birthright citizens and all that shit, all that was developed based off of the Federal Reserve of 1913, because their whole job was to create additional revenue, which created the 16th Amendment that made it where they could tax us indiscriminately, the actual people. Okay, so the authority he is using, he's quoting the 14th Amendment. But don't forget, Obama threatened Congress with the 14th Amendment before. So this 14th Amendment is very powerful. So if he's acting under the authority of the 14th Amendment, that was before the Federal Reserve was created, that took over all monetary policy of the United States. So he's basically saying, acting under the power of the 14th Amendment, the rest of that shit will be null and void. So it's a destruction of a different form of government that was created, not because they plan to stop. Don't forget the Matrix with Neo. Neo was created by the program. He figured out that at the end. And he figured out that the program created him to destroy it so it could what? Restart itself. Now, the Saxons were originally black Germans. I want you, Brother Supreme, look up the name Arius. I think it's Arius. Arius, a bishop from North Africa that was at the Council of Nicaea 325 AD. There was a debate that Constantine called these bishops together to unite and form a new form of Christianity. And that's in that book I just told y'all about that we about to be releasing soon. Me and baby mama. You will see that in that debate, that was a political agreement that was came to. And the bishops decided to side with Antianus against Arius. And what most Europeans don't know when they call themselves Arians, the followers of Arius were called Arians. The name come from a black bishop. That whole area, the Iberian Peninsula, I pronounced it wrong at the time, all believe in the Arius form of spirituality. Once my book is released and y'all look at it, I'm putting it all together. You will find out that they spent the next 300, 400, 500 years stumping out Arianism. And then they stole the name and turned it from A-R, and I'm the word speller, A-R-I-U-S to A-R-Y-A-N. Okay, there you go. See, Supreme, you already see where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Al? I see you, baby. I can't never, Prince, I can't never pronounce that damn word right. I can't never pronounce it. You will tell it to me, honey, I still mess it up. But yo, man, for you guys that didn't see it again, man, shout out to you, Social, for even making me look over that way. You know what I'm saying? Check this thing out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But the thing of it is, when I drop that book, man, I want y'all to check it out. And not because I'm on no come-up shit. I want you to see how it started in spirituality. Because as we know, those of us, as above, so below. It must start in the spiritual first before it comes into manifestation in the physical. They followed the laws, but they created a new world within this. And within that new world, somebody made themselves God. Not replacing the old God, but in the new world that they created, they made themselves God. So all these kings of Europe that rule by divine right, you will come to understand that the way we understand divine is not the way that they putting it down, baby. I see you, El. But like I say, man, I fuck with y'all, man. Continue to fuck with me, man. Give me some thumbs up on this joint. Everybody, this is an acquired taste. Everybody ain't gonna be able to follow this. But hey, for y'all that do, spread it amongst your people, man. Let them see what we doing over here, man. You know what I'm saying? And let some good folks see what's happening, man, because we're really trying to put it down. You know what I'm saying? And listen, man, that book is gonna be like that, man. And it's not a waste of your time. I got a culmination of probably about 15 to 20 books. And some of these books that I got in there, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. These books cost $500, $600, and $700 a piece. But that's that history that they know that they don't want in our hands because they figure we're not gonna pay for it. And I'm here sharing it with y'all, brothers. And in that book, when I drop it, I'm gonna let y'all see every book that I pulled information from, where I quoted from, and all that. I did that book similar to what I'm doing this live we're doing right now. And then I give you what I see from it. I get on my, what I like to call my itchy hour shit, part-time tactic. Deuces, man, fuck with me. I gotta get ready to go punch this clock. But I'm fucking with y'all, man. Again, that go baby mama right there. Sosa, appreciate you again, baby. Appreciate you. L, faux show. Holla at your boy.